Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is Thursday, December 2nd. We are here with your monthly McFatter Technical High School update. As always, I am Jeanette Johnson, Director and Principal here at McFatter Technical College and Technical High School. And with me, again, as always, are the Assistant Director over the Technical High School, Mr. Daryl Harris.
Hello.
And our Magnet Coordinator, Ms. Lillie.DeCastro.
Hi.
Hello to the two of you. I hope you are doing well today.
Yes, thank you.
All right, crazy that we're in December, but let's dive right into the updates for this month. So if it's December, that means we are closing in on the end of the first semester. Remember, as a magnet school, our students finish their classes per semester. So this does mean they are in the process of wrapping up their current classes because in January they will begin their new ones. I'm sure they're excited. So with some end of term information, I want to turn it over to Mr. Harris.
All right, thank you, Ms. Johnson. So, in the term, as she mentioned, there's time for just closing out the courses, and that means some exams that we have to take for our students. The first ones I would like to mention are end of course exams, and those actually take place starting next week. There's the Algebra 1 EOC, which takes place on December the 6th and the 7th. We have our Geometry end of course exam also on December 6th and 7th. U.S. History will take place on December the 8th. Biology will take place on December the 9th. So remember, the 6th, the 8th, and the 9th, we have algebra, geometry, U.S. history, and biology. Those are the end of course exams that all the students will need to take. Now, also another important exam, and we're taking this for the first time, is our Florida Civics Literacy exam that takes place on December the 12th, and that is just for 12th graders. And that's a new exam that all seniors will take. Now, for this year, we will, with the results of the exam, which is basically to get baseline scores, so it's not required for graduation, but students do need to do their best, and they need to take the exam because it will set the standard for students going forward. So that's on December the 12th, all 12th graders. That's the Florida Civics Literacy exam. So important as far as end of course and literacy exam. Also our semester exams. Ms. Johnson mentioned that the semester is coming to an end. So we have the entire week. And in the past we've had where students would have half days. So juniors and seniors maybe remember that pretty much, but this year they are full days. So what we've decided to make the exams, we will have on December the 14th and the 15th. So we have periods 1 and 2 on December the 14th, periods 3 and 4 on December the 15th. And students, when they are not taking their exam, they will attend their regular courses, or regular classes. And it is important for us to have those 2 days. We put it in the middle of the week because remember Monday on the 12th, we have on the 13th, I'm sorry, we have the Florida Civics Literacy exam, but on the 14th and the 15th, we'll take the end of the semester exams. And we want to give students the last 2 days at the end and also teachers to grade the exams or for students miss their exam for makeup, whatever we need to do to give students and teachers enough time to get the grades in. Now, although those are the semester exams, the semester isn't actually over yet. It continues after we come back from our holiday break. So that's January 3rd through the 7th is actually the last week of the semester. Although the students will have taken their exams, we do have a mandated mental health training. Now, though I say mandated, I think we all can agree that it's actually needed for all of us, teachers, staff, and the students. So that will take place January the 3rd through the 7th. And we've given the entire week so we don't put too much on the students at one time, but there'll be some instruction from teachers, some assessments that the students will need to do to give feedback. But that is important training so we can also understand how we need to support our students more than anything as we continue post-pandemic. And we're still getting to the end part of it, but more than anything to provide the social and emotional support for our students. So a lot coming up as far as end of course exams, mental health training. So just remember those dates, and we'll also post those dates on our website as well for students and parents.
Great, thank you so much. And a couple of things I want to clarify. First, I want to make sure our students and parents know this issue of now it's a full day when it's the exam days and they're used to them being shortened days. That's not a McFatter thing. That's a district-wide thing. This was a district-wide change so that exam days are full days. So, and I want to mention that because I'm sure some of our students and quite frankly, some of our staff are sad that they're not the shorter days, but it is a district-wide thing and it has something to do with the number of hours students need to be present in classes in order to receive credit for courses with the state.
Right.
And then the other thing I wanted to mention, this strangeness of the term not really technically finishing till after we come back. Historically, that has been true for us for many, many years, but we've always, so in theory, you wouldn't take the exams till the final week of the term, but we didn't want students to have to be worrying about their exams while on winter break and then come back and have to take exams. That's why they take their exams before winter break and get them out of the way. And I also wanted to mention regarding the mental health training, this is a statewide requirement for all high school students in public schools. So we did want parents and students to know where this requirement was coming from. And it actually, we could give it at any time. So it was a perfect fit for us. It made, because people do wonder, what do you do with that week after spring break? Because the teachers don't want to be giving new assignments. They're trying to close out the term. So it was a perfect fit to put it in that week. It's a great time for it to happen. So I just wanted to give that context about where these requirements are coming from so that our students and parents understand. It's also the time of year where we begin looking towards next school year and enrollment for next school year. And that means all things magnet related, as well as tech course selection related for our current 10th graders. And for those updates, I turn it over to Lillie.DeCastro.
Thank you so much. So our magnet window opened yesterday. So the application for any student to apply to a magnet program opened on December 1st and it closes on February 1st. Very important for our student applicants in particular is to apply within that window, because historically we have gone to random selection even through the pandemic. And a late application, though it's considered, it's just not considered until the wait pool is exhausted. We did end up getting some applications from 10th grade outside of the late window, but 9th grade it didn't happen. So we still had a lot of people in our wait pool last year. So to apply for a magnet program, I can't take your application. It has to go to browardschools.com/school choice. And this year it's a brand new system, so the families must create a family account first, and then they apply to the various schools. It's said to be a very easy process. I've not seen it because I don't have kids in school, or I would have gone through and made the account to test run it. And it's, like I said, day 2 today, so we haven't really received information yet on how to make it so. So if there is any issue getting in, let me know, and I can make requests or give it a couple of days, and the system should tweak itself out at the Broward School site. But with that, we have our open house, and our open house will take place next Tuesday evening, beginning at 6:30. We will have our first of 2 presentations for the large group session. I've asked for RSVPs, but if you didn't RSVP, the window's still open till Friday to do that. And if you can't find the link, it is online, and I'll have it on the website. But if you can't find it, go ahead and come. Just plan to be at the 7:45 general session, because we have more space left at the 7:45 session instead of the 6:30. So we're doing it differently. 6:30, you can go to the open session, and then afterwards we have a tech fair outside for all the technical programs with students currently in the program, teachers teaching the program to answer questions. We'll have PTSA here to answer questions if you want to know from a parent perspective. We'll have some teachers here. This counseling department will be here. We're just here so that you can feel out our school and see if it's a good fit for you. For those who are going to get the information session at 7:45, you can come early, see the tech fair piece, and then we'll make an announcement. Hey, go to the session if you missed the first one. So that way we're not trying to cram too many people into the space. Historically, it's been standing room only in there. And so we're trying to offset that a little bit now.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I wanted people to get context of why we're doing it this way. We've never done it this way, but it is because normally that general session is so packed, and we are still concerned about exposure due to COVID. So we're trying to not pack the gym quite so much with people, and that's why we wanted to split it into 2 sessions. So
thank you. And then same night after this event. Around this event, let me restate that. There's always been a gap of time for our technical instructors out there in the mall area, which is the area in the middle of campus. campus, that's what we call it, waiting for the parents to come of the interested people. So we thought, let's try something differently and give the 10th grade parents an opportunity. It doesn't matter if the students are in Tech 2 this term or next term, but they can come and talk to the technical instructors and the students again between hold on, I have to find the time, 5:45 and 6:45. We're asking you to restrict it within that time, just so the parents aren't confused as to the teachers aren't confused as to what's going on. 5:45 to 6:45, any 10th graders and their parents can pop by and check out any of the technical programs and talk to students before making their big decision, which will take place early in the spring for all 10th graders. So nobody has an unfair advantage, whether you have the class in the fall or the spring. But it's just one more opportunity to get more information, especially since students have been on campus less for our 10th grade class than they have in the past. So we're trying something new here, and if it works out and people like it, we will probably do it in the future.
So let me restate just to be sure I'm clear. So everything we're talking about is happening next Tuesday, the 7th.
Correct.
And for current 10th grade students and parents, they're invited to come to campus between 5:45 and 6:45 to experience the Tech Fair. You mentioned Tech 2. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's the class taught by Mr. Kinghorn in 10th grade, during which students do their most in-depth exposure to our tech programs and wind up selecting their course. But as Ms. DeCastro said, even the students who have Mr. Kinghorn this semester aren't finalizing their choice until the spring, so that they don't grab up all the most in-demand programs ahead of the students who don't get that course until the spring. So that's for current 10th grade students and their parents. Everything else, the RSVPing and the 2 general sessions, which were at what time?
6:30 and 7:45.
6:30 and 7:45. That piece is for parents of students who don't currently attend our school but are interested in applying. So we wanted to be sure that people, regardless of what grade they would be in.
And we mention it here because we have friends of friends who might consider coming to our school, and it's awkward to our parents if they didn't know to tell their friends ahead of time.
Younger siblings?
Younger siblings.
I don't think I heard you mention, in going back to the applying, when's the deadline for applying?
You have to apply by February 1st.
Okay, and the requirements to get in and what year's information they're based on, because that's a little bit different this year.
Yes, so according to policy, the requirement to get in to a magnet program in general, there are a few specific schools, but for our school in particular, you need to have a 2.5 GPA in language arts, math, science, and social studies for this school year. So first quarter, if a student didn't quite have it first quarter, they can wait until the second quarter report cards come out. But don't miss that February 1st deadline, because those grades won't go in if you apply now. So you may want to wait a little bit. Just in those 4 subjects, 2.5, which is 2 Bs and 2 Cs average. The other piece is from last year, the policy says from last year, they need to have a level 3 in the EOC and the FSA for reading and math. Now, not everybody took the test last year, and nobody took the test the year before. So they are willing to review scores from the year before that.
6th grade for these students?
For these students, grade, correct.
Wow.
Okay. So if you did not have the score in 6th grade, it was the year was what it was there too. Please reach out, because there is an alternative we can look at. We can look at a higher GPA for this school year and have a conversation to be considered without that test score.
But on that subject, we want to be sure people know, if you do need to reach out for some sort of special consideration, you need to do it before the deadline. Because what happens is Ms. DeCastro's obligation is to review every application that's in by the deadline and mark it as eligible or not. And then the district runs the lottery drawing. So if you wait until after the deadline to reach out and ask for this consideration, Ms. DeCastro in the meantime may be marking your application ineligible and you don't even get put into the pool for the lottery pull. So we want to be sure that if parents are concerned about that, that they reach out now instead of waiting till after February 1st, right?
Absolutely. And the other piece is I have no control over it. Once they take it away, I can't see it anymore. So thank you for reminding us of that too.
Sure. Absolutely. Couple of operational details I wanted to mention. We talked about slightly changing up the way we're doing Magnet Open House this year because of COVID. I did want to mention, parents, you may have noticed that you haven't gotten automated robocalls from me. I'm very pleased to report that in the entire month of November, our campus only had one reported case of COVID, and it was from an adult student who learns fully online. So the case numbers have dropped dramatically. We hope it continues that way. I think since our last time, we did already have the change in making masks optional for all students. I'd say about 80% of our students appear to continue wearing masks, except obviously at lunch. But I know they appreciate the flexibility of being able to take it off if they need to. So things are going pretty well, all things considered, still being in the middle of COVID. For that situation. I also wanted to mention briefly about our construction. We've actually been, all schools in the district have varying levels of construction projects as a result of the SMART bond that was passed by the voters several years ago. And we've been in some preliminary work for a couple of years, but we're now at the stage in the process where you're starting to see things happen on campus. On the west end, where parents do the drop off and pick up and students park, you may have noticed some green construction fencing, some green, that's up just outside our industrial building and in the parking lot across from the ARC. So that end hasn't changed, but we're starting to see a lot of work on the east end. Most of our buildings, not all of them, most of our buildings are getting new roofs as a result of this project, and it's being done in phases. So they're currently working on what we call Building 1, which is our admissions for adults and our administration and registration for adults, as well as it's our communications classes. It's at the far east end of the building, and it's where my office is, which is why you may have noticed I'm not in my normal space. There are a number of us who have actually been temporarily relocated out of our spaces for the week while they're doing some of the most disruptive work on top of the roof. But for the students who come by bus, they're going to start seeing, since the buses come on the east end, there's a lot of action now happening over there. We're going to have a lot of sections of parking blocked off because there are a lot of trucks that are delivering roofing materials and so forth, and the work going on. There's no danger when there is work that is dangerous. Things are marked off carefully and students don't go in those areas. There is noise and it smells sometimes, but every step is taken to make sure there's absolutely no danger to students or staff at any time. And this phased project, right now for several weeks it's Building 1, and that will start moving around the campus. After that, it'll move to a different building, so we'll have different groups of people temporarily relocated into these spaces like I am here today. So we'll just keep you posted on that, and certainly, especially when it may impact high school students or families. So far, there's not really any impact to them. There will be our high school students who are in our IT programs or our communications programs like printing and photography and digital media. They'll be relocating in another week. Some of them will be relocating next week, and actually Miss Sundar's class and Miss Coburn's class are actually relocated this week as well. So it's different sections from Building 1. So we'll continue to keep everyone updated on that. Other than that, we just wanted to remind everyone of winter break. The school will be closed from Saturday, December 18th through Sunday, January 2nd, reopening on Monday, January 3rd. There are a couple of days during that time frame where we will have a handful of people here on campus, but no one in the high school office. There will be somebody at our front desk manning our main phone line on the Monday and Tuesday of each of those 2 weeks. Other than that, the campus is completely closed, and you won't find teachers here. You won't find most of our staff here. We want everyone, staff, students, families, to enjoy the break. And then we look forward to seeing everyone in 2022 on Monday, January 3rd. We do, speaking for Mr. Harris, Ms. DeCastro, and all of us here at McFatter, we want to wish all of our families a wonderful winter break, a happy holiday season. We know this is the time of many holidays, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Christmas, the New Year's celebration. Whatever you celebrate, we hope it's a joyous celebration. We hope you get lots of rest, enjoy the time with friends and family, be safe, and we look forward to seeing everyone back in 2022. Mr. Harris, Ms. DeCastro, anything as we wrap up?
Stay safe.
Thank you.
Enjoy your family. Time with family is critical.
Absolutely. So we wish everyone well, and we will see you back here next month, next year, on January 6th. Thursday, January 6th will be our next recording. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Bye, you two.
Bye.
Bye.